Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash, the born and city apostles of great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Kabar from the GMS Virginia camp, coming at you with another lesson that I pray that you find edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. And this is a little video I got off of TikTok. I'm not sure if you're able to hear it, but ultimately, the boys in blue snatched up this woman, and this woman was with her children, and, the attitudes on these men in blue was like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about nothing else but the perk, we gotta get this person. I don't care who she's with. I don't care if she has a little baby, little children, whatever. We're going after her. We're going to get her, and whoever's with her is just ass out. And as you watch the video, you'll notice that, they grab the mother, stick the mother in the car, and has absolutely no regard for the welfare of the child. That's with the mother. And that's just the nature of Esau Edom. The anger of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, hey, look, this is the Lord's sword, this is the Lord's whipping stick, and we've been telling you the cruel nature of this man. All you got to do is sit back and read the history, but Jake don't like to read. And even if you don't read the history, sit back and observe this man's actions. His actions will tell you everything that you really need to know about this fucking devil, man. So I'm gonna bring out some precepts and speak a little more. But the book of Romans, chapter 3 and verse 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua without effect? We have been warning you about the nature of this devil. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has put the spirit upon his men to go out there on the highways and byways and constantly teach, preach, and warn you people about who your enemy is. And right now the northern kingdom is finding out who their enemy is. They call him Gringo. And quite honestly, this man don't give a shit. Those same spirits that were back when, you Jakes were coming off of the fucking boats over here in Babylon the Great, those same spirits are back. The same mindset that this devil has had towards you Jakes is back. There is no new thing under the sun. This devil is showing his hatred for you. He don't give a fuck about your well-being. He don't give a fuck about your family. None of these nations do. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai told you that none of these nations stop to see how you do it. They don't ask how you doing, Jake. They never have. In fact, they've all sent gifts to each other, praising each other about how, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai made you low. And then they got the nerve to sit there and throw it in your fucking face. By having corner stores and, that sell you pork and all types of fucking abominable shit. But you Jake still don't get the fucking picture. You still don't understand that this is your captivity. You still don't understand that these other nations are your enemy. But instead, the curses are in full effect, whereas you look at your brother as being your enemy. Because you can't get nobody else. You go after your own brother. You go after your own kind. But very soon, a lot of that shit's about to change, because you're going to see who your true enemy was. You're going to see who your true enemies are. And woe unto you in that day, So you Jake say, Salachya. Yeah, you Jakes really don't give a fuck right now, because you're able to eat, drink, sleep, and travel the way that you do on your day-to-day. The book of Luke, chapter 6 and verse 25. Woe unto you that are full, Yeah, right now you're full. You can go down to the store, you can go and get your food, you can buy your fucking ice cream, you can buy your alcohol, you can buy your beer, you can buy your little, you can buy your soft drinks, you can get anything that you possibly want to get right now. You're full, you're content, you're happy, you know? Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. The day is coming where Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to break the staff of Babylon. You know, he's going to break the staff. You know, he's going to cut the food supplies off to the point where you're going to hunger. Woe unto you that laugh. Woe unto you that laugh now. Yeah, you know, a lot of you jakes were laughing at what the Northern Kingdom was going through, but very soon you're going to be going through the same shit. For you shall mourn and weep. You know, and a lot of you jakes are going to mourn and you're going to weep because you didn't hearken unto the voice of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You thought everything was fucking gravy. You know, you see the world crumbling around you, but you think it's fucking gravy. You think that you ain't got nothing to worry about. You know? Oh, it ain't happening to me. You know, it's happening to them. And I'm pretty sure that as these cars were driving by, a lot of these people who might have been jakes on the bikes and in the cars or in the trucks or whatever saw what was going on and thought, well, it ain't happening to me. Let me go on about my fucking business. Not knowing that judgment is going to reach your door too. You know? Because this devil don't give a fuck. This devil don't give a fuck. You know? Yahweh Shem Yahushua put the decree out, you know, to slay you jakes. And it's going to happen. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 9 and verse 5, because you can't be ignorant your entire fucking life and not see what's going on and at least have some thought about how bad the situations are and are going to be. And if you do have that ignorance about you, then you're just going to get caught out there. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 9 and verse 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. And that's exactly what these death angels are going to do. They're going to go through the city and they're going to smite. You know, they're going to use the sword. They're going to use whatever power that was given to them by Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you know, to destroy you. You know, death is coming for 2/3 of you jakes. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. You know, the angels are going to do exactly what Yahweh Shem Yahushua wanted them to do. But the Lord swore, you know, Esau Edom, you know, he ain't going to have no fucking pity on what he do to you. He ain't going to say, oh, well, that's a, you know, that's a baby, or, you know, that's a young lady. Nah. The fury of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to be in his fucking eyes. And he's going to do exactly what the Lord gave him the power to do. Smite. You know, he's going to go through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. He ain't going to have no pity on how the fuck you feel. He ain't going to have no pity on, you know, after he smites your mother and your fucking father about how you going to do after they gone. He don't care about that shit. He ain't going to care about, you know, the little kid left behind. This devil ain't going to give a flying fuck. You know? Slay utterly old, young, both maids and little children. So what off of this video alone is the precursor of how this devil is gonna fucking act at a base level. Imagine how it's gonna be when martial law breaks out or hell breaks loose. He ain't gonna give a fuck about you people. You know, he don't even give a fuck about his own people, because there's gonna be a civil war going on in this place. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house. So this devil ain't gonna give a fuck if it's gray-haired men, gray-haired women, little children, little maids, women. He's not gonna give a flying fuck. And if you're of the fighting age, he's just gonna deport your ass to a fucking war or to a concentration camp and destroy you either way. So you sit back and you continuously think that everything is gonna be all right. You know, the book of Deuteronomy, and the Lord told you, you know, when he was telling you the curses and the blessings. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 25. The sword without and the terror within shall destroy both young men and the virgin, the suckling, and also with the man of gray hairs. He's not going to give a fuck. He's not going to give a flying fuck who or what you are. If you're of the tribes, hey, that's your ass. Period, point blank. But we've been telling you, Jakes, for years, starting with our apostles, elders, and bishops on down. Repent. Because, yo, Yahweh Shem Yahushai ain't fucking around. You know? This ain't going to be a long lesson, but I just wanted to demonstrate how, you know, this devil snatched up a mom, you know, off of the street and didn't give a fuck about her little children. Left her children there. Left the children there, and then had the fucking audacity after the fact, you know, to stand around as though they're concerned. If you were that fucking concerned, you would have done what you could have did, you know, to keep the mother and the daughter together. But that was not your intentions. You know, and what you're proving the scriptures to be 100% correct. You're not going to regard anything. You know, and this is just the beginning. And yay, the elect is going to get it. The elect is going to wake up. But you 2/3, there's no hope for you, man. You know, there's no hope. You know, because you're wicked. You know, when you see things like this, these are examples that we can use, you know, to create lessons on, you know, to show the elect how wicked the fucking devil is actually going to be. And this is just the beginning, you know. So I'm enough on that, you know. The point's been made, you know. This devil ain't going to give a shit, you know. And so with that, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakahak, Wadash. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.